Welcome, guys. Welcome to McTalks. McTalks is all about mechanizing times, and I am your favorite host, AH, aka Action Hero. So, guys, McTalks is a show being hosted by AH Technologies. So, guys, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it, and at the same time, please do like and share my video. So, as for today's topic, we'll be discussing about water jet machining. As the term suggests, water jet machining is a process in which we'll be using water jet as a tool. So how is the water jet being used as a tool? Whenever a high velocity water jet hits a workpiece surface, then a stress is being developed inside the workpiece, and this stress is enough to remove the unwanted material from the workpiece. So this is how we'll be using a water jet for the machining process. So if we talk about the setup of how this machining process is being done, we can see in this diagram where I'll be showing you all the parts. So here is the fluid supply, next is the pump, an accumulator is being used, controls, an hydraulic unit, intensifier, valve, a sapphire nozzle, and from the sapphire nozzle you can observe a water jet being machining the workpiece, and below the workpiece you can observe a small drain which is draining the water or the remaining water from the water jet. So if we talk about the construction of a water jet machining, we'll be talking about the parts being used in the water jet machining. So in the diagram I have already told you the parts names, so let's learn about the functioning. So the first one is the reservoir is nothing but the fluid supply, but it is a small kind of water tank which is being used uh, to supply the water for the machining process. So the next comes is the pump. So pump is a device which transfers water or pumps water from the water tank to the other devices so that the machining process can be happened. So the next or the third part is the intensifier. Why do we require an intensifier? Actually, the pressure or the water pressure coming out from the pump is not enough for the machining process. So to intensify the water pressure, we are using an intensifier over here. So the fourth part is the accumulator. So what is the necessity of an accumulator? Actually, the fluid velocity or the water jet velocity being used is different for different materials. For example, for wood we require another kind of water jet velocity and pressure. When it comes to rubber, we require a different kind of water jet velocity and pressure. So when we vary it from one material to other material, we require this accumulator so that we could store and also control the pressure of the water. So this accumulator is next connected to an control valve. Actually, what does a control valve do? The control valve actually controls the direction and flow of the fluid or nothing but the water. So the fifth part is the flow regulator. So what does a flow regulator do? Actually, this regulates the flow of the water, means it regulates the pressure and also the velocity of the water inside the fluid lines. So the last part is the nozzle. Actually, this is the very most important part in the machining process, because this nozzle is a device which converts the pressure energy into the kinetic energy. So after converting into the kinetic energy, we could get a high velocity water jet. So essentially we can call this as the nozzle has a very most important part. So as I already told you about the working of a water jet machining, but I have some questions for you guys which most of them actually ask even while working on this concept. I even had the doubts. So the first doubt I want to clear is that how much pressure does the intensifier provide? So actually it pressurizes the water up to 200 to 400 megapascals. So guys, this is really a very high pressure. The next question is that actually the pressurized water is sent to the accumulator. The accumulator temporarily stores the pressurized water so that we could use that pressurized water in the machining process. So guys, actually I have told you about how the control valve functions, but actually what does it do? The control valve controls the direction of water and limits the pressure of water under permissible limits. So actually here the control valve is the most important part, as it helps to control and also maintain the reliability of the machining process. So the other question which most of the people ask me is about the nozzle. So what is the speed of the water jet coming out from the nozzle? So the speed of the water jet coming out from the nozzle is nearly 900 meters per second. So the next question which most of them ask is about how much diameter does the water jet machining nozzle has. So the diameter of the water jet machining nozzle is around 0.10 mm to 0.30 mm. So let's move on to the pros and cons of the water jet machining. So water jet machining is really a very high speed process or a very fast process. It also lessens the time of the production, and also it prevents the formation of heat affected zones on the workpiece. It automatically cleans the surface of the workpiece, and at the same time you will be having an excellent precision. At the same time you can also achieve tolerances nearly plus or minus 0.0005 inches. So it doesn't produce any kind of hazardous gases also, because unlike conventional machining, this unconventional machining has a lot of advantages. Hence it is regarded as a eco-friendly machining process. So what comes the cons? So if we talk about the cons, water jet machining is only suggestible for softer materials, and at the same time it can't cut thicker materials. So it's really difficult to use it for machining thicker or thicker metallic, thicker materials or thicker plates. So when it comes to the topic of investment, the initial investment is really high, because whatever the hydraulic parts or the hydraulic control units or the intensifier units are really expensive, so the overall cost of the machine increases. But it is only the initial investment cost which is very high, but on long run you can achieve really a very good profit from this machine. So when it comes to the applications, water jet machining or WJM is typically used to cut softer and easy to machine materials like thin metals and foils, non-ferrous metallic alloys, wood, textiles, honeycomb, polymers, frozen meat, leather, etc. It is also used for machining circuit boards, and at the same time it is used mostly in the food industry, because if you use conventional machining process in the food industry, it may affect the quality of the food, and at the same time it can be dangerous. But when we use water jet machining, since we are using water, it's highly harmful. It's really, we can tell that it's not harmful, and at the same time we are going to have a very good quality of food product. So now let's see how the water jet is being used for machining. So this is the video which I am playing. So in this video you can see how the water jet is machining an aluminium plate. So in this aluminium plate you can observe it's going to cut a very complex shape. Actually you can also observe the nozzle being tilting its axis. Actually this is a 5-axis water jet machine. And it's also a CNC machine. Actually most of the recent days water jet machines are completely equipped with a CNC module. So you can observe, you can take the advantage of it. And at the same time, if you see such a kind of complicated part being machined over here, you can observe the production time for such a kind of product is really high if you use conventional machining. But since the application of water jet machining, it has been we can say that it is really a very good process. You can see our turbine over here, how it's being cut. So guys, see how the complicated shape of this turbine is being cut over here, and the material is aluminum. As I told you earlier, water jet machining can be only used for softer materials. So this is all about water jet machining. So guys, thank you for viewing this video. At the same time, please do like and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to comment in the comment section, and also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So guys, it's really a request, and very thank you.